There's a person in my life right now who I'm kind of hung up on. Uh, and by hung up on, I mean like I feel very strong emotions to and about this person. And he's definitely a cis man, and he's definitely straight. And there's tension between the two of us. And we've shared a lot emotionally, especially we've shared conversations about ourselves that no one else has ever heard before. Like he's shared things with me that he's never told anyone, and I've shared things with him that I've never told anyone, including partners, including spouses. I've never been married. So me and him have a lot in common, and there's definite chemistry between the two of us, but I don't know if we're going places, and I can't figure out if it's because, hey, does this, does my being attracted to you change anything about me? Or if it's just jitters and nerves. But either way, it is a, it is a courting ritual. And I'm checking the time. It is a courting ritual. And I've already been beyond this whole, by the way, I'm trans. And by the way, this is what I got going on down there. And I'm stuck at this zone where it's like, which one of us is going to make the first move? And would it be bad of me? Would it be poor taste for me to make the first move? Because it's like, I've told him, I was just like, hey, I really like you. And it's more than just my body being excited to be close to your body. It's deeper than that. It's yes, I find you very attractive, and yes, I feel this like lust and passion for you. But on top of that, you have depth, and you are emotionally complicated in a good way, and you're intelligent, and I'm playing scenarios in my head where like I could see myself being with this guy for a while. And like I said earlier, possibly in the last episode, I've been single since April of 2024. It is now February 2025, and I'm a Libra. We're very partner minded. And like I'm seeing him, and I'm like, I like you a lot. And I've told him, I'm like, the reason I'm currently not with anyone else or actively pursuing anyone else is because I want you. Does that change our dynamic, the dynamic that he and I have together? Yeah, it does. Because it's less about two friends venting, and it's now more like, okay, that's out in the air, that's out in the open now. What happens next? And I really like this guy, but I have to be grown up enough. I have to be mature enough to understand that his life might be leading him somewhere else. And I don't necessarily mean like, oh, there's another person. I mean like he might actually be moving soon out of state. And whether we cross any kind of physical line or any kind of like deeper emotional line, he's going to be leaving soon, and I'm going to have to give him up, which is hard for a couple of different reasons. To quote my friend Molly, that's my emotional support crush. Like my emotional support crush. Like, when I'm feeling low, I tend to think about what it would be like to be in his arms. What it would be like to, wake up next to him. What it would be like to fall asleep with my head on his chest. What it would be like to hold him while he cried. What it would be like to laugh until it hurt. The two of us just laughing until we couldn't catch our breaths. I've thought about that with him. And I like thinking about that. And the idea that he's going to be leaving soon. And no matter what happens, I'm going to have to let him go. Hurts. And I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. Because the thought of being with him has gotten me through a lot of stuff, including matters of my last video. And I mean my video from October. The thought of potentially having a future with this guy or being around this guy for a while is something that I was looking forward to. And I was playing in my mind like, hey, this is a reason to get up every morning. And he's going to be leaving soon and I'm going to have to let him go. And then where does that leave me? Now, I received some irritating news in July of last year. In fact, July 4th of 2024, I was talking with someone who I had physical relationships with. And he basically said, yeah, there's somebody else. I'm cutting you loose. And I'm like, oh, I just called you to say, hey, happy 4th of July. And you're telling me you're dumping me. And it was more complicated than that because there was other people involved. There was at least another person involved in stuff. It was him and his girlfriend. And they were seeing me regularly. And it was nice to be included. And it was nice to be a part of something. But there was no emotional attachment at all. Until he was like, yeah, I'm letting you go because, we found somebody else. And I'm like, okay. And it's like I was getting dumped all over again. But where was I going with this? I told myself then, and I made a promise that I am going to take the time to be single, and I'm not going to worry about dating again for 1 year, July 5th, 2024, until July 5th, 2025. I'm going to be single. And now, and I've done well to keep that promise, and now I'm thinking about, if this guy that I like is gone before my release date on July 5th, before I'm like, okay, I can start looking for like someone to be with. And this guy that I like is not going to be around for really good reasons and his own personal reasons. He's going to be moving out of state, and I appreciate it. And he's already good enough a friend that I know that, like, whatever he does, a little part of me will always go with him. He's been a tremendous friend, and he's been like a brother, but he's a brother that I want to like touch. And what will that absence mean for me when he's gone? What will it mean for me when he's gone? And then I have to begin the process anew of selecting somebody or putting myself out there to find somebody, hopefully, that would match me or be a good fit for me or like have chemistry with me. Because anyone out there that's dating, it doesn't matter if you're cis, trans, or whatever and stuff like that, dating is pretty hellish right now. It's not a good time to be single. It's not a good time to be dating and on the market. Currently, I'm not. Currently, I'm not. I'm not. No dating apps, none of that stuff. Not paying it any mind. But once this guy is gone, a part of me is going to go with him. But, like, what's that mean for my future? And I'm going to have to, get out there again. And I'm going to have a lot of moments where it's like, hey, this is going great. We're having a great time. Everything's fun. By the way, just so you know, I'm trans and this is what I got in my pants. I'm not looking forward to doing that with very many people, you know? And like, you gotta go through, especially with dating sites and stuff like that, you have to like narrow it down to like absolutely not to like, okay, maybe, to they actually show up, down to this is who I am. Can you accept me? And that hurts. It hurts because even the person that I know now, who I like a lot, who we bonded emotionally on a lot of different things and stuff like that, he knows what I am, and it's still like I don't know, and it's not transphobia. It's more or less like I've got a lot of stuff going on right now in my life, and I'm like, okay, I got you. I'm not gonna press it too hard, but just so you know, the reason I'm not hanging out with anyone else right now is because I like you and I'm focused on you. And as long as you'll let me and as long as you're around, I'm gonna be loyal and I'm gonna maintain my focus on you. And no matter what happens, I'm gonna have to give him up and I'm gonna have to let him go. And that's a level of maturity I didn't know that I had in me. Even if he does, like, you know what? Even if he does end up liking me before he goes, I'm going to have to let him go. And that's going to hurt. It's going to be a beautiful hurt, though. It's going to be exquisite pain. Being like, I like you. We had a brief moment, and I'm going to let you go live your life.